Welcome to this video lecture on the subject electronic circuits. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about operating point. So let's see the introduction. So what is the need for operating point? So let's recall the transistors. So we need to understand the operating regions of the transistor. To set the operating point of the transistor, we need to use the biasing. So where the input voltage should be greater than the base emitter junction voltage VBE. So it is generally 0.7 volt VBE. So to turn on the transistor, the input voltage should be greater than VBE. So what are the operating regions of the transistor? So generally NPN transistor is operated in three regions where saturation, active and cutoff. So it is decided by the junctions, so emitter base junction and collector base junction. If both the junctions, emitter base and collector base junction is forward biased, so it is transistor operates in the saturation region. Where it is fully on condition, it is on state. And for active region, emitter base junction is forward biased and collector base junction is reverse biased. So this active region is used as in transistor can be operated as an amplifier. And next is the cutoff region where both the junctions are is reverse biased condition. So here the transistor is fully off, where it acts as the open switch. And we can see the characteristic curve which is drawn between the collector current IC and VCE. Here the three operating regions are given: active region, saturation and cutoff region. And also the DC load line is mentioned. It is drawn between the points IC and VCE, where the Q point is in the middle of the load line. And these are the steps to achieve the operating point. So we are need to bias the transistor by applying the DC voltage. So the proper biasing is given to the transistor to set the operating point in the active region, where the proper IC and VCE values are given. It is drawn between the load lines where points VCC divided by RC and VCC are intersecting the characteristic curve. So this is the center of the active region where Q indicates the quiescent point, which is the operating point. So this Q point is the fixed point in the active region by setting the proper biasing of the transistor. So by using the above mentioned concepts, so the definition of Q point can be given, where Q point is the fixed point on the characteristics. It is also called as quiescent point, and this point is a fixed one. It means it is stable. So meaning of Q point is stationary or fixed. So by fixing this Q point, we can set the operating region of the transistor in active region. So where linear operating region in which the transistor is used as the amplifier. Here the base emitter junction is forward biased and base collector junction is reverse biased. So in this region transistor is act as an amplifier. It means the small changes in the base current can give the large collector current, which is known as the linear operating region. And next is the cutoff region in which the base emitter is reverse biased and base collector is also reversed biased. So in this state is used as the transistor in off state. So it acts as the open switch. And here it is the saturation region. So this region is used for the transistor to make the transistor is in fully on. So this concept is also used in digital logic circuit, and it is an activity to calculate the quiescent point values of VCE and IC for the given circuit diagram, where VB is 0.7 volt and beta equal to 100. So beta is the current gain. And we can see the operating point stability. It means the operating point should be stable at the quiescent Q point. If it is affected by some of the factors, then the operating point stability is not achieved. So what are the factors to affect the Q point is variation of current gain and variation of temperature and also variation of reverse saturation current. So these are the factors affected by the uh, transistor in the operating point. So variation of base emitter voltage, improper regulation of supply voltage. So due to the variation in temperature, so these factors affect the stability. Here the operating points in DC load line are mentioned for three different regions, for saturation, active region and cutoff region. And this is in this diagram breakdown point of BJT is drawn. Let's take the assessment. So identify the variables in the Q point where we need to calculate the IC and VCE values. These are the references. So thank you for listening this lecture.